All right. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello.
What's going on?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Hello. Hold on, I gotta turn off this. Hold on.
Someone's gotta mute.
Sorry. That was me. I do it every
What
time.
happened?
I had my volume on for
single
YouTube.
time.
Yep.
Turn off the volume. Turn off.
I'll get used to it one day.
Mm.
We're all just sort of like here, but we're not like.
Yeah.
Listen,
all
today
good.
was weird, man.
Mm.
Last night and today, just weird.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Fair assumption. But I heard M's husband had us up on the big screen. He was ready.
Oh,
Yes. Hey, Carl. Oh,
That basically makes us TV stars. I mean,
Apparently,
basically.
a lot of people watch us on their TV.
Really?
Corey, you're
That's a
responsible for
terrifying
keeping her
thought.
awake.
I don't think you want to see us.
See, I was gonna say
No,
same.
you don't. I'm not wearing anything. No makeup.
If you're watching us on your TV, tell us in the chat.
Yep, we want to know. Yep.
Now we need to know exactly how much to worry about it.
Let me see.
Is it 4K? Like, please. No, I control the stream quality, so we're good there.
Okay. Oh my God, it's more than I thought.
Oh, it's several more than we thought.
Oh my goodness.
More than we thought.
Oh my goodness.
It's more than we thought.
We're like this screen TV. Oh Lord.
That's
Please don't wear your glasses. That's all we ask of you.
yeah. I mean, that's
Take the readers
that's
off.
quite funny.
Let me just put some on. Look at how mine is shaped, Christina. This is a lesson.
That's quite funny. Oh yeah. I see that. Yeah. You know.
55-inch. Wow, people. You
Oh,
guys
wow.
are 55-inch.
Wow.
So now I
55
can
inch.
literally say, like, if I stand up, I can literally say, does this TV make my ass look big?
And the answer is yes. It makes all of our asses look big.
Yeah, for reference, I'm 63 inches tall, so your TV's are bigger than I am.
Oh, Lord.
75 inches, Emily?
Now come on. We're talking about can't even come
Way
through
too
the
many.
front door.
Way too many inches.
Can't even come through the front door. Are we being so for real?
Also to explain, Doc will be here shortly. She was hosting a family event today. And I believe we have someone else joining us shortly for a few minutes.
Whenever she's ready. If you're watching now, special guest, you can come in at any time.
Yep.
I mean,
Pop on.
There
in.
you go.
Does my 1980s feather that's happening, does it look really big on television? Because it looks big right here.
It looks normal.
I'm feeling a little falcon crest right now.
have your Alexis moment, your Knots Landing.
I just need the shoulder pads. That's it.
Some Joan Collins up
There you go. Shoulder pads solve any problems.
My mother thought that shoulder pads solved literally any problem.
She might be
Any
right.
problem you could have in your life could be solved by sewing a pair of shoulder pads into it. Let that confidence carry you through anything.
I had so many shoulder pads. I was part of that phase. So
Yeah. Oh my God. She loved her.
Diamond light, I will
Power
take.
blazer.
And Aquanet, I wish. The new Aquanet is not the same formulation, so it doesn't work the same.
It does not. It does not.
Okay, maybe let's
we
get
wanna go
started,
through
and then,
Yeah. I
and
was
then if
gonna
our
say,
special guests start joining us, we can move on to that.
I believe she's here.
oh,
Shall I welcome her?
Yes.
yes.
All right, everybody, surprise.
surprise!
Yes.
Hi, Jeanie.
Jeanie.
You're muted.
Okay, there we go.
Oh.
Hold on.
You're muted.
Muted.
Hold on, your microphone's off. There she is.
You're fine.
There we
I
go.
was like, hello, I know how to use the mic. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome, Jeanie.
Hi.
Welcome.
How is everybody? How are you guys? Are you
Nina's
relieved?
here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Are you relieved about TikTok for now?
I mean, we kind of don't care. Actually.
None of them really were on it very much, so.
Yeah.
I mean, yes and no.
Yeah.
If it was out of
Yeah.
our control, it was not worth it was not worth being upset about. So we were like, we'll just
Yeah.
use other
Yeah.
Well,
platforms.
that's a healthy attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some
Yep.
people who were like devastated, but
Yes,
Well,
and I mean, I was thinking about people who like literally make their livelihood on the
Yeah.
I
app.
mean,
I-
yeah.
Those are the
I was
people
talking
I
to
was thinking about.
I know a stay-at-home mom. Actually, no, sorry, she's not a stay-at-home. She was a stay-at-home mom, and literally, she was actually featured in Forbes, but she makes like 150K on TikTok.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, so you probably saw her story. If you just Google it, it's like TikTok ban. She's been voicing herself. So I just messaged her saying, "Are you okay?" She was like, "I'm okay for now, but it's still like you don't
Up in the air, man.
Technically, it's up to Trump, but you don't know."
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
we have 90
That's all.
days, but nobody knows what will happen in 90 days. So
Right.
Well,
and
it's
even
also
then,
scouting
the
some weird
U.S.
stuff. Sorry.
Well, I was about to say the U.S. has to buy it, but it's not going to be the same app. I mean, they have to redo it or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's good that you guys aren't. That's good. But Steph just talked about the power of TikTok and how she loves being on there. So
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were also thinking too, thank goodness just by providence that we had started our community building a year ago on on TikTok, and that we've had time to build up and have people come in. I mean, it's still I'm still not on it as much as Steph, but yeah, at least we had a little bit of time.
I crack up when I see Steph this close and in her car. And I'm like, you know what? I could do that. I can do that.
You
know,
could.
Yeah.
I can get more comfortable. But okay, so I don't know everybody. I know obviously Katie. Christina has her name, but her name over there is Army. So yeah, Katie, I know. Christina, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Quince, do you say it Quince? Cool. I love Quince. Where are you based?
Or Lisa, either or.
Okay, Quince or Lisa. Okay, where are you located?
DC.
Oh, okay, cool. That's like my second home. So
I
you know
know
what? Next
you.
time I'm
Before
there,
you
we
left.
should I should meet up with you.
Totally.
It's fun.
And
That'd be
then
fun.
Army.
And I'm Patricia.
Patricia. Okay.
And we met in New York.
yes,
You came
yes,
in
we
with
did.
your book.
Yes. Okay. Oh my goodness. So I have met you. And then Christina, I met you before, but where are you now? I mean, where are you located?
I'm in Arizona.
Arizona. Okay. Because I feel like I've seen you online before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're missing
And then
Doc.
Katie's in Atlanta, and I got to meet Katie.
Mhm.
Did I meet Katie before Steph did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to
Yes.
say yes. So
Yes.
cool.
It was like a month before,
That's
I think.
fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Fun story.
so what are you
I
guys
can-
talking about today?
I can tell them now. I met Jeannie the day I took my pregnancy test that morning, and I told her.
He knew
And I was
before
like,
we did.
I can keep a good secret.
Yeah, no, I showed up and I was like, I don't even know how I'm feeling today. It's really nice to meet you, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm a little emotional.
Well, I feel like we should do, Jeannie, I feel we have a lot of new people that are finding us on YouTube, so maybe a quick introduction from you would be awesome for our new folk that are joining us.
Oh yeah. So this is live, but we're not on YouTube now.
No, we are live on YouTube.
Right.
Okay, hi
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way it works on YouTube to get multiple people is that you have to do a meeting in another app and then screen share it.
Oh,
So
that's
we
good
are
to
doing
know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, thank you. I'm here to say hi. Yeah, okay, so what I do, I want to say by training, a licensed mental health professional. So sometimes my job gets hard. I still do that. I would say I have less clinical clients now I do more group sessions, workshops, webinars. So it's gotten a little bit more demanding, which is great. And I started my private practice. So it was like 2017 is when I started to get really busy because it was my private practice and working for myself. And then when the pandemic hit, just like everybody else going on social media, actually, I got triple busy because my real life, when I say my day job, is like I'm a grief and trauma expert. So you know how busy I was in the pandemic. I mean, so my private practice went out like through the roof. And actually, part of my story is why I started Noona Zunchi was I was working with such depressed. Like I would say all ages, college to like I want to say 50 plus, but the college group was where I was doing all these support groups, for the college university campuses virtually. And I remember going, I mean, everybody was just depressed. It was college students back at home. I have a college student, so I can imagine they're like, yeah, I got to live with my parents again. I mean, you know what I mean? It was like, they were really depressed, and they were like, and especially some people who maybe didn't like being back home, and it was just really hard on them. So I was doing all these support groups for colleges, and I just remember being like, this is so depressive. Like there were times I'm like, I would have music playing, you know, a couple times, different music from like K-pop to whatever. But then when I might have mentioned a K-drama, and it was something that was not that we ended up watching, but we ended up watching Startup. If you guys saw Startup, if you're a fan, we ended up watching it together, and that concept clicked. Meaning, I went, wait a second, I think I need to do this more consistently. So it was actually in the pandemic that I launched my social media, Noona's Nunchy. And the typical Gen Z, I'm like Stef, who was all like, I want to be on TikTok. I was like, when they're like, Jeanie, we need you to like start like an Instagram or YouTube. I'm like, what? Like what my kids are on? I mean, you know what I mean? Like what you guys are on? And I remember I was like, I don't know about that. I have a personal Instagram, but I don't know how to really use it. But then because I had so much content, it was a good place to go. So that's how I started my whole life on social media. That was like early 2021 pandemic. But generally, I always tell people, you know, it's hard for me to think of myself still, even though I am on social media and creating content and all this stuff. But I have this job as a owner of a practice, you know, of a private practice clinically, but then also Noona's Nunchy tours, where I do tours to South Korea that take up a lot of my content time, if that makes sense. So I do that on the side, but I don't want to say real work, but my hard work daily is doing trauma and, you know, doing trauma workshops, but also speaking to workplaces, corporate America, corporate Korea, and then doing tours. So 50% of the time I'm in South Korea, which is super fun.
That's amazing.
This year is going to be very fun. You know, people are coming back, you know what I'm saying? And so, so I think
people we care about are coming back. Yep.
It is actually very exciting to be there. I think this particular year will be, of course, very exciting. But even when I was there last year for Festa for the first time, I was never there right around Festa because kids were always in school. It was fun. I mean, you know what I mean? You're like, I'm talking, I was in line to go through to get the special like gift pack, right? Who's not going to wait in line? But it was 105 degrees, really, really hot. But the story that I'll never forget, like you guys all feel, and that's how you guys met, was I think I was by myself, and then my husband was like on the other end trying to get some other paraphernalia. We're all trying to get all the stuff, right? And then I'm in line trying to get the cards, the Fiesta cards. And then one person in front of me and one person behind me, and I didn't have an umbrella, meaning for sun. I was like roasting. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm Korean. I should know that I need a freaking umbrella for the sun. But I was like, it's okay. I'm just going to sweat it out. But Army, they shared their umbrella, right? Nobody, I'm going to tell you, what I loved about it is people are there so excited. We waited in line in the sun, 105 degrees. No one's complaining because we're talking, we're sharing stickers. I still have stickers. Oh, I meant to show you guys. Shoot. Oh, here's one of them. Can you see it?
Oh, yes.
I still have stickers of like a Ukrainian woman, a Russian woman, Croatian woman, which I was shocked. I'm like, are you here for Festa? They're like, some people flew in, some people like live there, right? But I was like, oh my God, from all over the world. And then they're literally giving out stickers. Oh, look right here. That was right here because I love. Oh, and
Army always comes through like that.
This is a Band-Aid. A sugar Band-Aid. Sugar or B21, sorry. So yeah, I mean, yeah, just saying. So that's my story, guys. But what I do specifically with K-pop and K-dramas, but K-dramas more so, is talk about mental health and provide those examples. And I started that again because it's easier to talk about a Korean drama or a BTS song and tie it to mental health and go, hey, by the way, you're depressed. I mean, you know what I mean? And it's hard to say that. But I'll be like, there's a song that mentions this, or you know what? There's a scene in this K-drama, and she talks about being depressed. And then I'll bring that up, and it kind of makes people easier to talk about something that they're going through, but that's not about them, you know? And so you guys know that we're talking about lyrics and what people share and seeing the documentaries, and that's what I do.
Yeah, excellent. I remember the first time you came and spoke with us, and what really stuck out to me was you saying, no more calling watching K-dramas or listening to K-pop a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
It's called self-care.
Stand by that. Totally.
Get that guilty pleasure concept out of your head.
Exactly. People still say that, though. And then was it, I don't know if it was Stef, no, it wasn't Stef, but I hear it all the time from people, I want to say, in our age, okay, when you're talking about midlife crisis, so there is a such thing, by the way, psychologically. You're like in that space of going, I've been there and done that. I'm ready to give back. But then I feel, you know what I mean? So like we're thinking, a lot of people in that midlife crisis, and I get annoyed when they say that, but I understand that it exists when they're like, yeah, that's when I turned to BTS. I know, isn't that like a crisis? Like, why would that be a crisis? Right? Right? And I say it very like casually because it's not like when I'm in a session or when I'm at a workshop, people know I'm ARMY. I don't walk in and go ARMY, or I don't walk in and go K-pop. Sometimes I'll actually play it. So then like when I always like to play Dynamite as people walk in, then that kind of breaks the ice, but I can't always do that in a corporate workshop. So I love when people are like, yeah, I'm starting to I turn to like K-pop and everyone's silent, and I'm just waiting for it to finish, or like, it's usually a woman, right? But they'll go, yeah, I know. It's like something I know. Then she gets all sheepish. Yeah. And I'm like, and I right. But I'm assuming that's also learned behavior. Like someone going, why are you listening to like 29-year-old boys? Right. And then family members saying that to her. So later on you hear the typical story. Yeah, my son thinks like something's wrong with me, And so I have begun to say, and that's why I said it, guilty pleasure, please take that out, because it just gives us joy, right? Or they give us joy, or music gives us joy, or watching something gives us joy. And then why would it have to be a guilty pleasure? But still, people will still make you feel bad. Right. Like, don't you think? I still get, I mean, people still tell me, oh, people make fun of you still for K-dramas and mental health. I'm like, yes. I have fellow clinicians that'll go, yeah, so I heard you wrote a book on K-dramas and mental health. I mean, you know what I mean? And I'll be like, but I show my confidence. I'm like, yeah. And then I guess like a gimmick or something. Yeah. They will stump on you if you're like, I like K-dramas. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or I listen to BTS. But if you're like, you know what BTS has done for me? When you show that confidence. So I work hard at it though, because some days I'm just like, okay. Okay. But yeah. So the guilty pleasure has to be tossed out, but we have to work on that too, because we're faced with people who'll say that too.
We get it all the time in our comments, all the time.
I have seen that. You told me you got some mean comments even on Twitter or X or whatever.
Oh yeah, we've gone viral a couple of times.
Yes,
we went viral. Yeah, for the wrong reason.
Viral is in 1 million views, a million people.
Which video, or what was it? A live?
No, it was somebody talking about us.
They
screenshotted. They took a picture, or screenshotted a video that we did when we were at our meetup in Kansas City last year, and it was just us enjoying. I think it was a compilation of the whole weekend that we had put together. So it was just moments of us enjoying ourselves and having fun. And somebody put a screenshot and they said, what was it? It was like, oh, no wonder armies hate pretty girls or pretty women or something like that, because they look like
we were ugly hags.
We're ugly.
It's like we're old and ugly essentially. So and then it was a litany of like comments like, oh, is that what they look like? Oh my god, that's army. But then other people rushed in.
A lot of people were very nice.
A lot of people rushed in to be like, get a life. These women are literally just enjoying themselves and minding their own business.
or how about you look up the definition of misogyny and just try to learn yourself something on Kim Namjoon's internet,
I mean,
anyway.
Imagine the audacity of a woman out here on the internet having fun.
You know what I think? That's actually, it's so ironic where I can get like in depth about things like that, where I hear that I go, that is not what BTS stands for army, or people saying they're army, because you don't know whether they are.
Right.
Things on the internet are very, I don't know where the comments are coming from, so sometimes I just feel like that is just sad if like if that's what it becomes. So I think it's just, thank goodness you guys sound, because you have each other, you can be strong and think, but that's still hard to reach.
Well, like we said, every time this happens, it takes like 50% less time to get over it.
That's good.
Totally.
Now
like you said, Jeanie, like we were talking about on your live, it's like the fact of the matter is the 6 of us together, we're community, and when it does happen, we do have each other to kind of be like, we throw it in the chat and we all get to process it together, and it makes it a lot less personal feeling, because you're like, this is not just about me, this is about
this is about your internalized feelings that women over a certain age shouldn't be able to have fun or have interests. Like,
this be visible at all. Be visible at all.
And be visible.
Exactly. But it's not the same with men, right? Men,
of course.
I have to say that because it's still true. So Just
Go ahead.
saying. Yeah.
Don't threaten me with a good time talking about the patriarchy, Jeanie.
I mean, and you know what? So I also this is like for people who are watching this in the future, like even in the Korean culture, it's very patriarchal in the Korean culture, and you kind of not see that in K dramas because they're also showing the empowering stories, which is shifting the society, and so society's going the right direction, but it's still very much a patriarchy. And I know because I do business there, and I'm sitting there half the time going, you didn't hear anything I said, right? They're not listening to me as a female. But I share this because we still have that problem in the US. Like it's still there in the US.
Yep.
So I tell Korean women this going, I know it's hard in Korea. Yeah, true. But do you know it's same in the US, like similar? And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, there goes Steph. We just talked about this, the similarities, the differences. I go, it's shown differently, but it's quite similar. Trust me. At the end of the day, women still have to fight for being paid the same or, being promoted. And like, I still get this in my corporate workshops. Oh, yeah. Jeanie, you're really outspoken. And I'm like, yeah, because again, also I'm Asian. So they're probably thinking, oh, she should be quiet. I mean, that's the stereotype that we face. So I have learned to be like, well, thank you, since your organization hired me to speak about mental health. So but first couple years of like me doing this, I went, oh my God, what do you say? Like I kind of paused and this kept going, but now I actually make fun of it and be like, yeah, that's why I'm here. Yeah, you know what I mean? And point to them because it's always a male. No female has ever said that.
Always.
No female has ever said that to me. Yeah. So anyways, that's me. And so I'm excited. And who am I seeing this September in person in South Korea?
Me and Patricia.
Yeah, you and Patricia. Okay, what about Quince and Lisa and Christina?
Well, so
we'll get them there.
Not in the cards for us.
Okay, but am I triggering something? We'll talk offline.
Yeah.
But Katie's having a baby, I know. So
yeah, we would love to, but we're gonna live vicariously. This time around, we're gonna live vicariously through
yes.
Steph.
Okay. Their next time, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
and Katie too, because Katie, I want to come. When's the baby due, Katie?
April.
Okay, so yes, I say next year. Well, okay, that might be hard.
Like, come hell or high water.
Can I go again?
If there's a concert next year, I'm going. It was really
next year's gonna be different because 2026 is like when they're supposed to.
Yeah, the year.
Yeah.
So
everything's up in the air.
I know, but I still think I heard early 2026 of like.
I mean, I don't doubt. I think a lot of us have speculated quite endlessly at this point that we think it's going to be like first half of 2026.
Yeah, I think so.
And it'll go on. For
I thought they announced that
they
though.
Take breaks.
They haven't made any official announcement.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I feel like I hear something and then I'm like, did they announce that? That's like, did they announce
people
that?
Are speculating. People are speculating. I mean, based on time.
Yeah, we don't think that it's possible for them to start a tour within 6 months of getting back. They're going to be doing
Plus,
the work.
honestly, if we're going to be really kind about like their just well-being, they need time to adjust back too.
Yes.
I feel bad that they're like, oh, by the way, start an album and like get on it by September.
And now we know Hobi's literally coming off of a tour of his own, so it's not like he's going to want to turn around and immediately jump on another tour.
Yeah. Well, I think they've done it, but I think they still need time. So okay, you guys are on the list for Hobi's tour, I'm assuming, all set up, ready to go.
Going but me. I can't go.
Yes.
Obvious reasons.
Yeah, there's not. If there was a show in Atlanta, I would have tried to get tickets, but I can't.
But you can't fly. Yeah, you can't fly because you're too close to your due date. Okay.
No.
That's okay. You still have the potential 2026 that we know is coming.
I will get great pictures and videos from my friends. And
that's right. That's right. So, are you all trying to go to Chicago, or all in the same city, or different?
No.
Some of us Chicago, some of us New York.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, Patricia's in New York.
I'm in New York. Yeah.
I'm kind of baffled.
I'm gonna have a full house.
Okay. Are you?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're having a slumber party. Yeah.
I mean, that's so much fun. No, I was just gonna say, I'm a little baffled by the city choices. It's interesting. I asked somebody that. I'm like, interesting. Not Atlanta, or like not certain things. I was
very surprised.
Well, similar at first to D-Day schedule.
D-Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
With just a few differences.
Yeah. And also,
so I think they based it on that, and then kind of went off script a little bit according to availabilities.
I haven't verified this. Somebody said it was identical to 17, but I haven't verified that myself. My best guess is that this was because we got.
I thought 17 came to Atlanta.
I think that he has planned to do this for a long time. I don't know when they started booking this stuff, so my best guess, especially like the fact that they're in Chicago on St. Patrick's Day weekend, like I think they were taking what they could get.
It's like a nightmare.
Yes, we have no.
And don't forget, he's doing a very like short tour. It's not it's like 2-3 months. So
there's not a lot of wiggle room. There's not a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah. And I don't blame him because everybody gets out by June. So I'm thinking it has a lot to do with that. You know, you can't step on your members' toes by doing a tour while they're coming out of the
right.
No, right?
Yeah.
For that.
Well, mostly that you'd be afraid that they would just show up. They just crash it.
Yes.
Well, okay, so I still think maybe there's speculation, but I don't think all of Army will come to Hobi's tour. I mean, I think it's one of those things where like people want to, but there a lot of people probably aren't going to be able to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I meant the members.
Oh,
I think
just
I wouldn't expect Suga, obviously, but I'm hoping the other guys. I don't know.
I mean, you never know. You never know. But I mean, of course, definitely Jin. You know, but I don't know because it's like February. Well, I'm in Seoul, kind of close to. I don't know. You know. So, anyways, I'm excited because I'll actually be in Seoul, so I'm super excited. So it was like I had a heart attack trying to get tickets. Okay, getting tickets in Korea is 30 times worse than in the US. Like,
really?
Yes. No, I mean, it is stressful. So I'm not trying to downplay it. It is stressful in the US. And you guys will be having heart attacks when you're trying to get it, like for the pre-sale. But no, Korea, it's nearly almost impossible. So they sold out in an hour, which surprised me because I thought, I thought they'll sell out in like 30 minutes or like 5 minutes. But they sold out in an hour. And his tickets were, I would say, I don't think they're pricey because I'm used to US cost, but for Korea, they're pricey, you know, but still worth it. But it is. I mean, people will tell you it's near impossible to try to get them. And especially if you're a foreigner like me. So I was like having a heart attack, but I had a friend walk me through it. So I was like, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Like, I seriously am going to have, like, I had like carpal tunnel, like going like this, you know, but I'm glad it worked out. So it's so stressful. You're like, oh my God. And then you see like, you're like number 1,000 and something, you know, tells you.
We've had a lot of people coming to us with that same kind of stress and anxiety. And we haven't even gotten to the pre-sale yet. This was just over like the pre-sale announcement, because for a lot of people in our community, this will be their first opportunity to see anybody in BTS. And they've never gone through the process of buying a concert ticket at that kind of like level of, this is the Hunger Games.
I get it.
So we built like a little section in our Discord. We've done some tutorials, and we're learning too. We're learning too. Like a few of us have past experience with a few concerts, so we're going off of that, and then of course we're going off of our ability to, you know, like do the Google, and things like that. But like it's been, I would say that it's been stress relieving for us to help other people feel more confident in their abilities to navigate this.
Yeah, because it's a 3-step process, right? So that's why I'm sorry. In Korea, the pre-sale sold out in 1 hour. The pre-sale. So like, ain't no time for general people. Do you know?
Ain't no time for general sale.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the way it's going to be, right? Yeah. It's not surprising. I mean, I'm already anticipating the BTS tour, the comeback tour. Like, OMG, like what is going to happen? Like,
it's going to be horrible.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
So that's why I hope they do an extensive tour. So many showings, right? So like, obviously, just for the sake of people.
Yeah.
We've been saying we think at least a year. I feel like they're carrying for at least a year.
I think so. Well, when was our last big tour? Not
Love
yet.
Yourself.
Well, the one that they planned was
the Soul got
canceled.
Yeah. So
canceled.
How long was that one?
20. That was about a year.
That was about a year.
I mean, most people do tour for like a year.
And they need breaks. They do a month or two. They take a month off. They do a month or two.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and I don't know if do you guys follow IU? because they adore her, and I was following a lot of. She took she ended in Seoul, like she started in Seoul and ended in Seoul, and I feel like that's what they're gonna do too. But I also feel like I think she took a couple months off in between, like a summer or something like that, to film something else and then go back to tour.
Yeah, those still work.
Yeah, they still do work
and do like a documentary each or something. I don't know, but
yeah,
they'll do about their time in the military. I don't know. I'm just saying. But then they'll do their tour. But
hopefully they can do some work that's less physically exhausting than a tour.
What is working? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. I don't even know how. Sometimes I think, oh my goodness, what is that like? To be on tour.
It's come across my Facebook Reels before, some of the workouts that Taylor Swift did trying to get ready for the Eras tour, which I'm sure every artist who does something like that has to go through. And I was like, wow, that looks really difficult.
They have to love it. But I've also seen, like, I've only seen a glimpse when I helped with these UK boys, a little bit of a glimpse, and they're not anywhere near to the point of K-pop, but they're being trained under K-pop, and that was strenuous. So I can't imagine. And they weren't even on tour. They were training, but training is hard, right? But I was just sitting there going,
training is hard.
Oh my God. I was brought in to be their wellness coach. I think I talked about this, but it was very like, I was sitting there going, oh my goodness, no wonder you have a wellness coach. Like it is extremely difficult to hear feedback, and K-pop training is tough. And so I can't imagine.
We talk about that a lot on here, how BTS has to have like full mental health staff available probably all the time.
But I don't know if they do.
Really?
I mean, I think they do now.
Really?
Don't they have? I mean, maybe not full time, but.
I mean, okay, so not like I know everything, because like I think Hive is just like the ultimate, like, don't go near them, But just from what I've seen and heard, they do have mental health staff, but that doesn't mean they're properly addressing their needs, because mental health in Korea is still somewhat behind. So I do believe they have trained psychologists on staff, and I do believe they have people who can sufficiently help. But I also have seen that I don't believe it's the effectiveness that that people need, not just BTS in general, K-pop artists.
Here's what I've always wondered is, like, if they have mental health people on staff, are those people obligated to tell Hive what people tell them? Like, I would actually, if it were me, I would feel uncomfortable.
I think wouldn't it be the same thing as like a confidentiality?
Yeah, it's like
unless there's
like
it depends on how
like
they set it
doctor
up.
patient confidentiality.
It depends on how they set it up.
Unless they're a threat to themselves or somebody else.
Yeah. Like I do think I like, the only thing I know is my experience with SM and how they did things is things are confidential, and they should be between like patient and client, or therapist and client, but the confidentiality can be broken in like 5 circumstances, but very dramatic, like self-harm. They're going to kill themselves. They're going to go kill somebody else. They're being abused, So, but if they're over 18, it's a little, 18 in Korea, in the US, maybe Korea might be different.
It's 19 in Korea, right?
19. So if you're over, or maybe higher than that, like when they go to college. So I have to find that out, but it could be, then they're an adult, but then you could still report things. And I think it gets tricky, unlike here in the US, where we're very strict about it. Yeah. We're like there's no way I'll ever jeopardize my license to break confidentiality unless it really meets those criteria. Yeah. I don't know how clear that is in Korea.
This is just like Haiti behind the windshield.
And I'll say I'll never find out unless I'm literally doing it, because one time I asked, and I don't even think they knew, like people knew. So I don't know. I think it is a little tricky on how much people share, because there's such a stigma too.
Wow.
Like, yeah, like if someone goes, you know what, I feel depressed, I think they'll go, okay, we have to get you better because you're performing in 2 weeks. I mean, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I am seeing improvement though in the news when they're like, they're taking time off.
Yeah.
But it may look good, but I always question, just because I know some of the intricacies. I really hope as this artist takes time off, they're getting the support, not just getting time off. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like seeing a therapist, or if it's that, right? That I know I always question, because that's
I find that fascinating, just because in their society, men have to serve in the military, which to me sounds like a very traumatic life sort of thing, not to talk too much about it,
Yeah.
but you would think that with everybody having to go through that shared experience, that would be something that you would address via mental health help, that would somehow make it less stigmatized, I guess. But
for the military, with the military,
yeah.
Sorry. No, I was just gonna say, I know some folks. I mean, I don't know a lot of people, but the military has gotten so much better. So it's like I would say now a little bit where you can be on your phones. I heard it was super, super strict and scary actually at one point, that some of those friends of mine who went to the military back in a day, and they don't tell me, I mean, they'll say it like very gently because they know I'm a therapist, but they're also like, yeah, I don't want to talk about my military days. And I won't push them as their friend. And even as a therapist, I would not ever, but sometimes I'm like, okay, you said that kind of scary. They go, yeah, because I don't want to talk about it. And they're like my age or a little younger. And so that was back in the day. I think BTS era and that age, a little bit much better. But I'm bringing that up going, there's some unresolved things in Korean society. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So
sure. Yeah. And believe
lot.
me, I have no experience at all. You know, I'm definitely.
So I had to share that. You know, I mean, it's hard though. That's why I love talking about it, because I feel like, you know, that's what I love about the conversations we have globally, that Korea is getting there talking about it. And BTS is probably one of the very few folks that started that whole thing, you know, sharing, love myself. I'm struggling, crying on stage. Yeah. I think they were actually one of the first few, and that helped, right? Once someone else does it, they see that example. And so that is a huge reason why I think we're shifting, but I still think there's a lot more work. You know, because
they paved the way mental health too.
Yeah, I know.
Say what? Say it again.
They paved the way for
mental health as well. So
I totally feel like they did. I mean, I remember, I would see them back early on when they looked like babies, by the way, and see them like crying on stage. And I believe that was one of the, I can only count maybe another time, and maybe it came after, where they were very open about things, and that was them, you know? So that's why people love them.
Like that you mentioned earlier about how K-dramas have come a long way, and I was thinking to myself, like, yes, because I can think about K-dramas now versus even like 10 years ago. The difference is insane.
It is
like sometimes it's really hard to go back and watch them when they're that old. I have a few that like pulled me in that are like nostalgic favorites, but if I came to them now without ever having seen them before, I couldn't watch them with like the frame of reference that I have now, because I think we are, like you said, starting to see the same thing happening within the K-pop industry. Those same kind of like, it's just happening slower than maybe we would like, but it is happening.
It's always happening. Yeah. I mean, I think and then I think 2025, they're coming out. 2026, we may see a real big shift in a great way, you know, with their tour, you just never know what could happen, even with their new songs. Right. So I really think a lot of good things. I'm seeing a lot of good changes, and I'm actually very, very hopeful, except I agree that what also has to happen, except aside from addressing their mental health, is also some maybe looser restrictions in the K-pop industry. You know what I mean? Like, because it's almost like a crazy cycle. Push, but here we'll help you with your mental health, but we'll push you to. There's got to be like, okay, we want you to do well, but here's what we're going to provide you: mental health support. Let's pull back a little bit. You don't have to be the best. You know what I mean? I don't quite see that. It's still about you got to be the best. You got to look the best. And even, I'm not even a K-pop person or whatever, but sometimes when I'm doing things, even in Korea, they'll look at me and go, yeah, you look tired. I mean, I'll be like, you're judging me. Yeah. Cool. People are very blunt. Koreans are very blunt, and they'll be like, they're like, yeah, you know what you could do? You could do like some skincare stuff. I'd be like, what? Like, and they're not meaning to insult. It's the culture. So it's very, very like driven by, you know, K-beauty and how you look. And that is all about not like, so some people think that has to do with, I understand it looks bad, right? They're like, oh my gosh, they're all about looks. But do you know what I also believe it has to do with is Koreans are also have a very high expectation. So it's not the superficial part, like you have to look good and it's all about plastic surgery. No, it's actually they want the best. So they want you to look the best. So that's part of that perfection level. Am I making sense? I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm saying, hey, I understand you have such high expectations that everyone has to look a certain way because you want the best, and so that's kind of the Korean culture. So that's where I was coming from, but I was like, I'm also 50 years old. I'm not here to be a K-pop.
Right. Well, and also, if they want you to look your best and like be thinner, then why is their food so delicious?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and we, you know what? Okay, but you'll experience this, Patricia and Stefne. You will eat a lot, for instance, on tour, not to create FOMO with everybody else, but you will eat a lot. But you're also very active. Not just on tour, but Koreans are active. So you'll be like eating all this food with like, rice cakes and all that, and then kimchi and all that, and feel like I can't move, but we're moving. You know what I mean? So a lot of them, I think they eat well, but you're also very active, which is also very important. Eat well, but also be active.
As heavy. It's still not as heavy as food that we eat for the most part.
I agree. I agree. I think the heaviest thing is rice in Korea.
Yeah. I'm going to let Doc in.
Rice.
Oh, but you know what they're also good at, I'll be honest, is, and they don't do it purposely, portion control. They also don't eat as much.
Exactly.
If you order, we have lots of like vegetables, like the banchan. You see, as you see, Jungkook, I love the way he eats, by the way. Anyways, when he eats, you see all that. Do you remember him eating Chipotle though? When was he eating Chipotle?
Chipotle.
I was like, you like Chipotle? Why would you like? That's me going.
I know.
There's other, but you want other. I mean, Chipotle probably tastes good, but I mean, it does. But I just was cracking up that's what he was eating. That's probably the most fattening thing he ever ate. You know what I mean? In that one moment. But I digress. Their portions are much smaller. Like the rice bowl is like this. You get used to that, and I think that helps too. So
for sure.
And nothing's really fried except chicken, like the fried chicken. But even that is people don't have that every day, and also it's like double fried. Like there's a way that I don't know.
Fried, yes.
I don't make it. Sorry, but I eat it when I'm in Korea.
I can't wait
eat it.
I'm gonna let Doc in now.
I eat it.
Do you?
Oh, Doc's coming in.
You're in New York. Are you in New York City? Like, are you in Manhattan?
No, I live in Queens, so I have a lot of good Korean restaurants around.
Oh yeah, same thing. Queens. Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant you're in the 5 boroughs, so you're kind of still. Yeah, must be nice.
Yeah.
But wait, Katie, you're in Atlanta. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
So DC has a ton of good Korean.
DC, like the Northern Virginia area.
Northern Virginia, that's where I am.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I grew up I lived in Fairfax. So
I'm in Loudoun.
Okay. So now Centerville's a new. Yeah.
It's a small world after all.
I lived in Fairfax.
Fairfax, Virginia?
Yeah.
I thought we talked about this. Who's Doc? Hi,
Hey, Doc. This is our 6th.
Wow.
We call her Doc because she's a real Doc.
Oh, yeah, I think I've said hi to you before too then. Hi, Doc.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, we're just talking about Korean food, making ourselves all hungry.
We had really good K barbecue in Kansas City.
Yeah. You're muted, Doc.
Doc, you're muted.
I've been watching the live, so
okay.
I've been in it the whole time, waiting for people to get out.
Yeah, you're like, I know the party's over. Go. I got to
see the thing. The problem is like everybody was like leaving at like 7:15 and like at 7. So I was like, I'm only gonna be like 10 minutes late. But then vehicles had to be started. So then we had to wait. Because it's like 20 degrees here Fahrenheit, so we had to wait for vehicles to get hot for the children, which was valid. But for those who don't know, I am late because I was hosting one of my niece's 8th birthday party. So
Doc posted. Did you post those pictures in the general server?
I have not yet posted the pictures in the general server, but I will. It was a bluey theme, and I'm a little out of control when it comes to party decor. So,
Doc is a fantastic cake decorator as well as a physician.
Yeah, the vision.
Yeah.
Listen, if it's not on brand, what's the point?
Hey, listen, the 6 of us tend to have a problem like that. We could really get together and just read a couple books and talk about BTS, or hear me out. We could start a global project with thousands of people.
Yes. Exactly.
I love it. Aww.
Yeah, I mean, a job, no, like it's a fun hobby.
Stop.
There we go.
Last year you made a Jack in the Box themed cake on TikTok.
I was telling my
I
husband
did.
that today.
I mean,
Yep.
I showed.
All right, I guess I have to be more active on TikTok.
You do.
Well, no, we had.
I mean,
No.
So Jeannie, the
Maybe.
backstory is that when we first got on TikTok, we wanted to have guests on our live. And
Yep.
it must have been you, actually.
You, yeah, it was you.
In order to have you on our live, we had to go live, I think 5 or 6 times alone.
Uh-huh.
TikTok makes you do that. That's the requirement. And so we were like, none of us wanted to do it. We were all nervous. And we were like, okay, everybody like comes up with a plan. And Doc was like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to face these people. And we were like, well, why don't you bake a cake? It's Hobi's birthday. And she's rummaging around her cabinets. And she's like, yeah, I have cake mix. I have food coloring. I'm going to make a Jack in the Box cake. And she did. She made a little cake.
For Hobi's birthday.
It was really cute.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Those are the days of our lives.
It
think
wasn't that long ago. I remember being on that live, like, when was it? Like
About
a year ago?
It's like
A
about a
year
year.
ago.
A year
Well,
ago.
not
A year
quite a
ago.
year, but almost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look at that. Now you guys are seasoned talking on Google Meet, going on YouTube, whatever. Yeah, it's like,
It was a really good cake.
We've
so.
learned tricks.
Yep.
I love that.
We learned.
Yeah, we can learn from time to
Aw.
time. Yeah, it's been nice.
Yeah.
No, but Jeannie, like the next thing you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to give everybody like counseling after this bloodbath of Hobi ticketing here happens. And
I'm really hoping you guys all get tickets.
Oh,
Thanks.
I have all my fingers crossed.
Yeah,
I
we're-
scheduled myself
we're-
out.
Wait, and dates we still don't know?
yeah,
Yes,
well,
we
we
do.
don't know LA, but we know everything else.
No,
Right.
no. I meant not dates of the tour. Sorry, the dates of
Oh.
the pre-sale.
Oh,
It's on
it's next
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remind-
this Wednesday.
Yeah.
Everybody's
From-
putting very important meetings in their calendars and they're
Yes.
working.
Okay. Yeah,
I
just Steph, you'll have to text me.
I
I'll have
will.
to- yeah. Oh my God.
Because
Because we were all. I was texting everybody in Korea, going, "Did you get it? Did you get like you know what I mean?" Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So only a few. I don't know if
But
they
you
did. Yeah. so.
don't have dynamic pricing over there, right? Like we do here.
Dynamic. Oh, like it changing?
Yeah, like
the
the
price is
prices
the price.
start
They list the price and
skyrocketing
that's what
as
you
soon
pay.
as.
Did I know that? What? No, it's It's a flat fee.
Oh,
flat-
see, it's not that way here. Like you
Yeah.
could like log in and the tickets are $250, and by the time you go to check out, they're $750.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm used to that Ticketmaster. And
Yeah.
then the fees are ridiculous. Korea's fees are like $5, like $5 flat. I think that's
Wow.
why another thing why it is a bloodbath in Korea because they're so inexpensive.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
Hobi's is the most expensive I've seen. Maybe we're also going to Coldplay in April in Seoul, and so that's also expensive for Korea, but
Mhm.
really inexpensive for the U.S. So I think that's why it's nearly impossible to go to a K-pop concert in Korea.
Mhm.
Like nearly
Wow.
impossible
Oh,
because
that
the
makes
price
sense.
is like, I think I paid what was it, $150?
Yeah, and you got
Wow.
like
I got a meet and greet the first night.
yeah.
I didn't even try to. I just went whatever. Like you know how you're just like you see the dates, and I was like, should I get like 3 more? And I was like, no, that you're not allowed in Korea. You only limit 1. So
Right.
I remember trying to click on another one for my husband, and then I couldn't get it because I forgot. I'm like, oh, 1 ticket per. So that's why. And so yeah, I got Friday night. But then I was thinking, oh, I could have gone Saturday because Jin might come Saturday. But then there was rumors on Friday, and then someone said Sunday. So I'm just like, forget it. Just stick with what I know. I just got Friday, so I'll be there.
Meet
for a
and
while.
greet, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
So I will get to like there's some friends I know that got VIP. There's the same cost. They get to go early and get the sound check. I get to stay late and do the meet and
Yes,
greet.
they
So
did
it's
the
like
same thing here. There's like 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like meet and greet, baby. So I just chose the meet and greet. So
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Fine. We're just
but I
That's
would
what I
have been
would
glad with
awesome.
whatever I got. It's like I would have been fine with
Okay,
whatever
how
I
quickly
got.
can we get Jeannie an Army Project 529 shirt in Seoul?
Yeah.
yeah,
We
now,
have
sure.
to.
Wait, say it. Start again. What do you want me to do?
I'm just kidding. I said,
We-
how
She was
quickly
kidding.
can we get you a shirt in Seoul?
Yeah.
Get me
We're
a shirt.
doing our own like do you have it, Christina? You can show where we're doing our own concert tees with our
Oh, yeah.
I can show
I mean,
it.
you can give it to me. I
Yeah,
was gonna
show
like
her.
get
Can you
like
show
the
her?
latest shirt.
I
Yeah.
can-
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hold
I
on,
think
we're gonna
Katie
show
can,
you.
Yeah.
Where it's still in progress,
Hold on.
but hang on.
This will be everybody's
Yeah, we-
chance to see it.
Yeah, we
Everybody's
were
gonna
just,
see
Yeah,
it
I
for
mean,
the
I
first
plan
time.
on being on site at least the minute it opens to get merch.
Yeah, so oops.
That's smart.
Oh, come on, don't do this to me now.
But you know, I was on site for. Do you
There
guys
we go.
know?
Okay, let's hold on. There we go.
We're-
Okay, so
we're-
yeah, these are the fronts, and then those are the backs.
Oh wow. Okay,
I'm gonna
wait.
do it
Something.
red and black.
Yeah, we're going red and black because that was his
Zoom
sort
in
of-
on the actual design, Katie.
Which one?
I don't think I've ever seen it
Who
before.
designed it? Katie?
Christina did.
Christina.
The Hobi.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, get one to me then. I don't know.
Get them to me.
Get it to me.
I mean, hello. And then I obviously get a banner. I'm trying to figure out my banner, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
They're putting all the concert dates on the back of
On
the
the
shirt.
back. Yeah.
Well,
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I mean it. If I can get one, then I'll definitely wear it.
We will get it to you.
Oh yeah.
we're gonna make a way.
Before
We're
I
gonna make
leave,
it work.
but I leave in a month, so I need it before then.
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
Text me your address and we'll get it to you.
Okay. No, definitely wear it. How fun is that? No.
We will send
No,
you
I'm really
whatever.
worried about merch being sold out because I didn't get early access, you know, so I don't know. Because
We
I
need
went
to
to the.
two, and then she can throw one to him, and then maybe he'll.
Oh, I'll throw one to him. I'll throw
But we
it.
have to make
I'll
for a
be like,
special
here
one
you
that
go.
just has our face.
Oh
on
my
it.
God, please.
I mean, but I also am. I'll have to gauge because I don't want no security at me. And then the other
It's
thing
true.
is, but also no. But I think a T-shirt's fine. But
Totally.
know, yeah, they're-
Although getting headlocked by the Mr. Lee would be a highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be a highlight.
I
of my
mean,
life.
I'll make sure I look extra cute or something. So
Jeannie,
I'll
are
be
you
like-
Army enough that you know who Mr. Lee is?
do I know Mr. Lee?
Yeah.
Who's Mr. Lee? I just
The
figured you'd probably-
particular bodyguard of theirs who's seen with them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I figured you meant. Yeah, I didn't know his name was Lee.
Well, we
Yeah,
had somebody
yeah.
in Kansas City dress. We had a costume contest. We had somebody dress up as Mr. Lee. It was amazing.
It was the best costume
It
ever.
really was
Wait,
amazing.
I want to see those photos.
Oh, we'll share it with you. We,
Oh,
we'll
we'll
share.
send
Yeah,
you.
we'll send you
Yeah,
the
we'll
drive
send
link.
you
and
all
she
the.
and
all
she walked
the-
around bodyguarding people.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
it was
good.
really
Wait,
great.
how
Get
many
an
people in
earpiece and
Kansas-
everything.
How many of you guys in Kansas City?
We had 96.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, aside from us, we had 96. So we're
Yes.
aiming for about 150 this time. We're still
Oh yeah.
a
In
registered.
Kansas City again?
Yeah.
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 Is it just easier to meet there because it's central, or?
And
That's
cheaper
part of it.
because the hotel fees for like meeting rooms and food and all of that is like astronomical. And we found some place that we can actually afford because somebody has to, we have to do the contracts and everything. And so we found this place. It's fair. And so it works.
And
They
it's
were
also,
very nice.
like 2 miles away from an international airport. So we're like centrally located
Yeah,
next
I
to
know
a big
lots of-
airport.
Wait, when is it?
July
July.
25th through 27th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll be in Korea.
I'm still in Korea, yeah. But I was
Yeah.
gonna say I am in Kansas City, or I should be in August for a conference. So who's there? Anybody's there? Do I see
Some of our project
We have
members
quite
live
a
there.
few. quite a few.
Yeah.
Oh,
project
okay.
members live in
Well,
Kansas City.
I will get when I get to that point. I'll make sure I stop by and say
people
hi.
ask.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
because we live in Kansas City. None of us live in Kansas City.
No.
Yeah, we all have to fly there.
Yeah, I was thinking. Wait a second. Even Steph doesn't live there.
The
So
way I
yeah.
tried to convince them to
Yep.
do Atlanta.
But
It
I
is
know.
just literally in the middle of the country.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. But then I
Yeah.
was thinking, have you considered even Texas? Isn't Texas pretty reasonable? Like Houston, maybe not Houston, but no, I heard Texas was pretty reasonable. Maybe it was Houston because that's where Steph and I met, and I could have sworn Houston was. I heard.
We were
It
in
was.
Austin.
Oh, sorry, Austin.
Yeah.
So I mean Austin.
Yeah.
No, I heard Austin's expensive, but I think I heard
Yeah.
something about Houston being reasonable.
Hmm.
You might want to
I
look into
mean-
that for the future because I go to a lot.
Yeah.
I go to a lot of conventions and they'll tell me what cities are reasonable. I think they said Texas was one of them because of all the property or whatever. And I think they said Houston.
Right. Okay.
And they have an
Okay.
international airport. Yeah.
Note to
I'm
self.
just thinking of future. Future
Yeah.
big ones.
I'm
So.
trying to find a picture of Teresa in her Mr. Lee costume. Oh, I found one.
Okay, text
Yeah.
it to me.
Yeah.
Text
Well,
it to
no,
me.
I think it's on our website. I think she'd let us share
Yeah.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll share it.
So let's share it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Horrible.
It is so good.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
She's a genius.
That is so
She's the
funny.
best.
Oh, you guys must have had so much fun.
We had so much fun.
No, we
We
had
had
so
a
much
blast.
fun. And there were
Oh,
people
thank
there
you so much.
that had never really hung out with Army in real life ever. in their entire life. Like they've been isolated. They're the only person in their family or their group of friends that even likes BTS.
Yeah.
And so to come there and hang out with almost 100 people that were all, you know, you could be as introverted as you want, because all you have to do is talk about BTS. If you don't want to talk about yourself, just talk about BTS and you can hang out with other people.
Oh, that's so awesome.
And so, yeah, it was really fun. And we had a pajama party where we rewatched the Busan Yet to Come concert all together. And it was amazing. Cool. It was amazing.
Someone actually gave me a gift from, I don't have it on like here, but it's because I'm like still boxing it from the Yet to Come concert. I couldn't go, but they get a special like what do you call, like gift box.
Ooh, yeah.
Only for the media. So I have this really pretty, I wore the headband actually. I have the headband, but I have the umbrella. It's like, and I never will use it. Like, I'm like, it's because it's like no one else will have it. It's like only for the media that they sent, that Hive sent them, and she gave it to me. She's like, "You're Army, right?" She goes, "I'm not really." Here you go. And I was like, "What? What is this?" And I was like, "What's in this?" And so the umbrella was at the bottom, and I went, "Oh my god!" So I'll never pull it out ever, because you lose umbrellas. You know how like if it's raining, I will lose that umbrella. So I'm just never gonna. So it's just going to be a collector's item, and that's why it's not. That's why it's not my place. So yeah, I'll have to show it to you guys. It's really pretty.
Put it in a shelf.
Yeah,
it is. It's in a pretty box, purple box, right? And
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways, I got to get going. I have to I kind of clean the house and get ready for tomorrow. So
thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
I think I could join every week. So you guys do this every week.
Agree.
Yeah.
We do it twice. Twice a week.
And then how long are you on for?
Well, you know, it's funny because we did talk about having you back when we had Yoongi's month, and we are in Yoongi's month.
Yeah.
And next week we start talking about D-Day.
Okay, so have me back, because I still want to talk about my whole thing with amygdala.
Yes. We're talking about amygdala next week. So if you're able to and you want to come back,
what's next
I'm
week?
sure that Stef, because I know Stef wanted that too.
Yeah. So it is still this time next week, right?
Yeah.
I believe so. If worst comes to worst and I'm in the car, I'll be in the car driving back from something. But I definitely want to join. Yeah. So I'll just keep in touch with Steph and get out there. But oh my gosh, it's so nice seeing
Very
you.
cool.
Doc.
Yeah. Thank you.
And Doc, if you ever want to make another cake and show it on TikTok, I think you should.
You totally should, Doc.
You know what? When you get that ticket for Hobi's concert, you got it.
I'm gonna lose my shit. So making a cake feels like the appropriate.
I want to say yes.
I'm gonna stress
yes, I have to keep in touch with you. Okay, let me know on Wednesday. I'm sure I'll hear from Steph.
I will.
Fingers crossed.
Bye,
Okay,
Jeanie.
guys.
Thank you. Bye. I'll text you.
Bye.
Okay, don't hang up, Katie. I almost ended the call.
She's awesome.
I know. She is
we're
Jeanie.
still live. Don't hang up, guys.
Yeah, don't hang up.
We're still here.
Yeah,
we weren't saying bye to you. No, we weren't saying bye to you.
Out of the live now. There you
Stay
go.
here.
So no one's ever done that before, Christina.
I know, right? No, I wanted to mention that if you're interested in Army Project 529, our first live is recorded and up on YouTube with Jeanie, where she speaks about K-dramas and mental health and making sure you take time for hobbies that bring you joy. So on our YouTube channel, we can put the link to that particular replay for you if you'd like to see it. So the first time we talked to Jeanie. So
yes.
Yeah. And then we've been keeping in touch with her since then. And she is the one who is facilitating Army Project 529's trip to Korea later this year. It is with her group.
Company.
her tour company. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We did drop her earlier in the chat links to her Instagram and her website. It's Noona's Noochies. Noona's Noochie.
Yeah.
She's pretty big on Instagram, but she doesn't do much on TikTok.
No, she's not. She's trying to get into it, she said, but she's
But yeah, long time friend of the project.
Your number then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Should we
cool.
get back on track? Now
Yeah,
with a different,
yeah,
or a different-
Black.
There she is.
We have to follow the agenda now.
That was great.
Agenda.
That was great
Okay, well-
because we were all saying like we didn't really have a whole bunch of news to talk about, so that kind of
I
worked.
know, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Perfect.
Well, we could just gloss through it really quickly.
Yep.
We already
Yep.
kind of talked about the meetup. So, Katie, do you want to just quickly mention where people, if people are interested in doing that,
Yep.
and then the
Let me
Patreon?
grab the link before I forget. By the
I
way,
think
I'm
it's
hearing
in-
some people can't hear me well. I am trying to fix it. I don't know why. We literally, like, 4 of us have the same mic, so, and my volume's turned all the way up, so I have no idea what the problem is. Anyway,
Excuse
so
me.
yeah, if you heard us talking about that fun shenanigans and saw those fun pictures, we really did have a great time. Those smiles were genuine smiles. We are doing the event again this year, probably a little bit bigger, we hope. July 25th through 27th, which is a long weekend. And yeah, if you want to join us, it's hosted and organized by us plus a couple of volunteers. Thank you guys very much. You know who you are. Yeah, more information at the link I'm going to pin right here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what else? Yeah, let's talk about the rest of that later.
Do what?
Okay.
Yeah.
next-
So real quick, so the Hobi tour shirt is going to be coming really soon. We're mocking it up as we speak, and there's going to be, I think, 3 different versions that people could choose from because we're getting conflicting opinions on what colors people liked, and then we were like, wait a second though, we're in charge of this. We could just
We can just do more than one.
Do
we
whatever
could just
we
do
want.
more than one.
You know that,
Yeah.
that meme?
There
We'll just
you
do
go.
all of them.
There's usually more than one tour
good.
shirt. There's usually more than one tour shirt.
And
Exactly.
they will be, and we will announce that in the Discord and all our social medias when they're available, but they will be at ap529.com/shop. And I'm trying not to lose my freaking mind the fact that Hobi might see that shirt
I love
on
your
Jeanie.
face.
Yes.
I might lose my mind if that happens, but we're going to be cool. We're going to play it cool. We're going to
We're
send her
totally
whatever
cool.
she
We're gonna
wants.
have
Cool,
a tiny
cool.
row
And
of
we're gonna
6
play cool.
faces just on her shirt. Right under
Yeah.
Hobi's
Listen,
little feet. He's
listen.
I
gonna stomp
mean,
on us.
We'll play
I
it
was
cool.
going all Delulu this morning about it.
Yeah.
So dreams come true,
See,
people. Dreams come true.
Christina, the key is to delusion yourself into they're never gonna let her throw the shirt at Hobi.
Yeah.
And then you take all that stress off.
Well, you
and
can't
then
throw the shirt, but maybe
so
you
you
can
just have to convince yourself they're never gonna let her throw that shirt at Hobi.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
the stress is gone.
Right.
No, just
Yeah.
gently slide it
Yes.
across the table.
Yeah. Well, here's
And
the
then,
other
and
thing.
then
Here's the other
if,
thing.
if things
he
happen,
sees her
it's just
wear
a
it,
happy accident.
if he sees her wearing it and he identifies it because it's such like a great look, then when we're all at the concerts wearing them, he'll be like,
This is
But
this
she's
is
gonna
such
be at
a
the
beautiful
first
delusion.
one.
I'm both feet in though. I'm
First
both feet in.
one.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Delulu is the Salulu.
He may know this shirt from the first concert, and then as AP529 across the world are wearing the concert shirt, he'll be like, "Oh my god, I've seen that before."
Oh my god. Anyway,
Sharice, sorry.
no
It's
matter
like,
what
I
happens
mean-
though, it will be special.
It will be special.
We'll be
A special
Very
Army
special.
Hags. Army Hags.
I have to read this one comment. Sharice said, "I'm going to throw myself at Hobi wearing the shirt. He has to catch me. I have a plan."
But do you have bail because you're going to need it with that plan? Just FYI.
Yeah, I don't know how the Korean
FYI.
system works.
Mr. Lee's not going to be very happy about that, Sharice.
But you could get manhandled by Hobi and Mr. Lee in like a 3-second span.
Wow.
we would need to get
dreams
Mr.
right
Lee
there.
like a 3XL for all those muscles.
Yep, that's
We're joking.
Lord.
Please
Yeah.
don't assault them.
that's a big deal. Anyway,
So the blog, it is Yoongi. We are in the midst of our journey through Yoongi solo month. And this week is week 54, A Special Life and Ordinary Life. And we are talking about the years 2017 through 2020, culminating with his release of D2, his second mixtape. So our watch party was super lit the other night. We were Dechitying all up in that bitch. It was a lot. Everyone was headbanging. Everybody was so it was a lot of fun. We had a great time, and we talked a lot about the the depth of the album and the growth from his first mixtape, Auguste, to D2, the growth from in that time period. And then next week we go into week 55, which is going to be called The Lotus Flower That Blooms. And it is our start. It's still a time frame. So we're going like end of 2020 through like it's through the release of D-Day. We're not covering D-Day is going to take 2 weeks. So we're starting D-Day next week. But we do have some other stuff as well, including Interlude Shadow from Map of the Soul 7. So we're talking about some crazy shit next week. But all of it is going to be great. So make sure you check that out. That'll be dropping at midnight Eastern tonight. And we'll be talking about that next week. So, and maybe Jeanie will come back. Won't that be fun?
Maybe.
We've been talking about having a conversation about amygdala for like over a year. So
now is the time.
And I was literally writing about it, sobbing. That, so why not? Let's
Listen, I debated putting amygdala next week, like the week after, and then I was like, no, we need to end the blog with amygdala for the week 55.
Even though it does go slightly out of order from the album, it worked because of the way that those songs stack up now. Yeah. In fact, I forgot when I started writing, because we're talking about D-Day and Haegeum and amygdala next week. And I forgot because it worked so well in my head, the way that I was writing it, I forgot that it wasn't the next song on the album. So, and then I remembered when I saw your note about it.
Right. Well, and then also like part of why I chose to go out of order with it was because Dejita, Haegeum, and Amygdala were written as a trilogy. They're supposed to design those three songs to be listened together. And so it just felt like it made more sense.
It felt right. Anyway. So
right. It felt right. So having her come on to talk about Amygdala feels right as well.
Yeah.
As we have already been talking about in the first part of this live, TikTok shenanigans, social media uncertainty is the theme of the night. And we're going to get into a little bit more after we talk about the news. So here's what happened this week.
Because did we break up? Are we on a break?
I don't know.
Are we back together?
Or I feel like
we can't quite play each other yet.
I feel like the United States and TikTok is a situationship.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. We're friends with benefits right now. That's about it.
We have a serious situationship?
The benefits have been slim. I mean,
someone's getting benefited, and it's not me.
It's a very precarious, uncertain situationship at this point in time, and so
there you go.
Continue talking about it. So on to the news.
Okay, on to the news. Canter in order. We start with Namjoon. So on the 17th, he just dropped this like photo dump of different pictures of himself, Namjooning, as usual. And J-Hope commented on that photo dump, and Namjoon replied. So they had an entire conversation. Hobi said, "The whole world is our Namjoon," and RM replied, "Hobi, I can be discharged too. I can." I think that he referred that he could take some time off too.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the conversation they were having in Instagram. By the way, in that photo dump, the song was a silica gel song called Tic Tac Talk, which actually is the same people that did a video with puppets of Lost when RPWP came out.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very catchy song. I already added it to my playlist. I really loved it. He also has been posting in his Instagram stories. He posted a song by Mac Miller, Balloonerism. That's a name, quite the name. Apparently V is listening to the same album. We will talk about it later.
I'm telling you, they're in our server.
They are.
They are.
And then he published an excerpt of an article by Hyo Ji-won, a professor of psychology at Korea University, the title of the article was "Don't Be Fooled by Your Brain." And it talked about the intentionality of feeling happiness and making a habit of enjoying the moment and being happy. Because according to the article, your brain turns to look into the bad stuff more. There's more feelings that are not being happy. And it's easier to fall into that trap. And I think, as usual, Namjoon is kind of like taking care of our mental health, like we were talking before.
Yeah.
And talking about being healthy, he also went on a run. He loves to report that he goes on runs. So we get a lot of Instagram stories. Even if it's super cold in Seoul right now, but he runs. And that's it for Namjoon.
Namjoon. Okay, Jin and his poor legs. How can they even be functioning at this point? So first, he got on Run Jin. He was going to have to walk up 123 flights of stairs. Luckily, he and his friend played enough games properly. They didn't have to walk up all the flights, but I think they were still kind of winded, and that was hysterical. And then we got the behind the scenes, finally, of the fan event where he sat on the carousel. And I thought there was a couple of things I loved about it. I loved it. Like, after the first two, he was like, okay, wait a minute. I'm not getting enough time with them. And so they doubled the amount. Like, you get 2 go-arounds, and then the 2 that had already went, we're going to get to come back. I thought that was really cool. And the fact that his legs were shaking so bad, I felt really bad for him. But I think one of the other things that really stuck out to me about it was the interview with him after. And apparently what he thought in his mind would happen and what actually happened was different. Because he made the comment that he goes, I really thought people would just come kind of enjoy the moment, but everybody had memorized something to say.
Yeah.
And so he said it didn't really happen like I thought it would, but it was great. It was great. And so it made me just think I would love to sit down and have a conversation with him and be like, okay, so what do you want out of, like, what did you
think was going to happen?
You have hoped for?
Yeah.
Like, but he seemed to have a great time, even though he could barely walk when it was over with. But
I mean, I think he was probably thinking like spontaneous fun, just kind of like a laugh and like a giggle, you know, with Army.
Right.
But like, then you think, you know, like it's these people are thinking this is literally the only time in my life I am ever going to be near this man. I need to say what I need to say.
Well, he was
and also like extreme nerves. Like if I don't memorize something, I'm going to say something stupid.
Right.
I'm going to say something stupid and
or not say anything at all.
Yeah.
Right. Because, like, let's be real. A lot of Army are introverts out here in these here streets, and many of us are neurodivergent.
Right.
And if I didn't have something memorized, I would get next to the Kim Suk-jin and say something stupid like, "I really like your face."
Yeah. And he'd say, "Of course you do."
I mean, he would just agree with you.
He would say, isn't it handsome? Isn't it handsome?
Maybe no more words. And then knowing me, I would jumble words up, and I would in my head be like, I really like your face. But then I'd say something.
It would just come out as unintelligible squeaking.
Not make any sense at all.
I think I would probably lose the ability to talk, so I will do something like,
yeah.
If I didn't have something memorized, like ingrained in my head as I'm walking up to the carousel with like, don't make it weird, don't make it weird.
And then you look Jin in the face and you tell him, don't make it weird.
Don't make it weird. And he's like, I don't make anything weird. Nothing.
Well,
ever.
Which is just wing it and have fun. And the rest of us are like, we don't do that.
Yeah, we don't know how to do that.
Have you met my brain? No, you haven't. We can't wing it with the Kim Suk-jin.
What this man will not do for us. Okay, and then my final thing about our sweet Jin is really that's all we've seen from him. And I kind of feel like back in the old days, like in the 70s and 80s, we used to watch WWE, where, you know, the wrestling, and they would like tag team, and like they would just get the shit beat out of them as they're like in the thing, and they'd finally crawl over and then tag their partner, and then their partner would come in and start, and they would get. That's what I feel like has happened. I feel like he's like crawled to Hobi, and he's been like, I have kept them entertained for 6 months. You're on. Your turn. And he's like out. So
tag, you're it.
Yep, you're it. So
accurate.
He is taking a little break.
Yeah.
All right. Yoongi.
Yay!
Yoongi, it is Yoongiuary. We are doing all kinds of thinking about Min Yoongi, looking at pictures of Min Yoongi.
It's been popping.
It's just
Watching
Yoongi.
videos
I
of
saw
Yoongi.
somebody on Twitter today that said "Army right now for me stands for am ready." Am ready, Min Yoongi.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Oh.
It's like, okay. By the way, I don't know if I'm right. Okay, we've got 152 days, 153, depending on if you're South Korea or US, until Min Yoongi is out of the military. 152 days, people.
Okay.
So close.
This is the home stretch. This is the home stretch. So yeah, I saw that today and I was like, ugh, beautiful.
Yep.
And then I was just playing the D-Day album on my Spotify and I was like, I wonder how Haegeum's doing. Haegeum is quickly approaching 500 million streams. It's by far the most streamed song on that album.
Yeah.
I organized them on a spreadsheet according to their streams.
Look at you.
And yeah, and the songs from lowest number of streams to highest number of streams, it goes Polar Night, SDL, Life Goes On, Interlude Dawn, Snooze, D-Day, Amygdala, People, Part 2, and then Haegeum. That's the order that people are, the number of streams.
It makes sense that
Yeah.
the release tracks are the number 1 and
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, so, but Haegeum is about 31 million streams away, which sounds like a lot, but with how many ARMY there are,
I
it's not
have
that much.
also been streaming D-Day all this week. And
Yeah.
listened to it probably like 10 times on repeat
Yeah.
today.
Me too.
Yeah, so cool. So there we go. Soon, Yoongi soon. Am ready, Min Yoongi. Anyway.
Okay, Jaeha.
We just talked about him a lot, so
I know we've talked about him a lot. We're gonna keep talking about him a lot. In news realm, J-Hope has jet setted off to France.
on y
He
va. On y
He
va.
is on his way to the gala whose name I shan't pronounce. And he published. Listen, it's fine. I accept my weaknesses. He published 2 moments on Weverse this morning. Looking like a fluffy squirrel. He
Adorable.
is thinking cute. It's ridiculous. And he told us he just was being super precious. But anyways, he's off to France.
"Army, I'll be back soon."
Yeah.
I commented and I said, "You're just going to visit other ARMY, J-Hope."
Aww.
Yeah, it was so cute. It was so cute. It was precious. He also posted on his Instagram stories his feet with Louis Vuitton bag and
For free.
with
For free.
for free, my friends. So he gave us some Louis Vuitton. He got a new bag. He did have that yellow one. Now he's got this
Same
orangey
color.
look.
Same color.
He got an
New bag.
orangey one. It's a different color. It's like a slightly darker color than what he used to have.
Okay, slightly darker. In the same
Anyways, so the question though is he was posting some Louis Vuitton merch from the airport. So Fashion Week, maybe. Again, we're not saying that he is going to participate in Fashion Week. That starts on the 21st. But
Dropping to the Louis Vuitton show. He shared the invite.
Yep.
there you go. So he's on his way to France. He's going to the Louis Vuitton show. He also put this ridiculous filter on his Instagram stories. It was so cute. It was stupid.
Yeah, that one came out. We were probably busy.
That one just, that one looked like he was messing around with filters and was like, Army will love this. And we did. And then in other J-Hope news, that is not news because we are all freaking out about it. Tickets are dropping on Wednesday for the Army pre-sale.
Pre-sale is now closed.
At 3 p.m. for the local time zone of the venue in which you are wishing to attend. So there you go. So that's it there for J-Hope right now in the news section. So.
Well done.
Who was out there highlighting everything?
I don't know who's highlighting it. It won't let me.
I was like, who's messing with our shit?
Somebody's doing stuff
Not
in
me.
the agenda.
Somebody's doing things in the agenda. Somebody.
Sorry, my network is unstable, so I copied it and pasted it into Notepad, and then I closed it. Sorry about that. That was me.
Okay. Yeah, my
You're like,
network is
calm
also-
down.
internet is also being
Calm
real
down,
weird.
my daughters. It's not that big of a deal.
Do you think I was going to delete it all? Woo! let's party.
Yes.
Delete.
Listen, the undo key exists.
If
All of a
anyone's
sudden you just
chaotic
see us
neutral, it's Christina.
stare into the camera like.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Anyway, all right, Jim and she. You guys have to understand. I'm begging for some news here, Jimin. It was funny.
Begging.
I'm literally begging. But I did go scouring the internet today, and I found 2 pieces of information that you may not know, which are that Jimin, as of today, is the first and only Korean K-pop soloist in history to have multiple albums surpassing 2.2 billion streams on Spotify.
Woo!
So
Get it, Jimin.
smashing,
Impressive stuff right there.
as usual. I'm sure someone will come tell me that's wrong, but I did my best to validate it. The other bit of news I saw, so we remember most of us can't go to these because they happen to be on the other side of the world, but a number of the members have had exhibitions related to their albums or their projects that they've done. So Jimin's exhibition called The Truth Untold, I know it was in Seoul, I think it did a stint in LA, and now it's in Japan right now. So I saw some really cute pictures on Twitter of the exhibition itself. People were able to like write messages on something, and like it's like a little garden of messages for him. Some really cute merch. So cool. If you guys ever want to bring that to Atlanta, just
Note to self.
People will
Note to
attend.
Panna.
it's fine. Nobody
The
will. It's fine.
ATL.
I've accepted it. But yeah, it was really, really cute. So if you feel like looking at something happy, go look at Smeralda flowers in Jimin's exhibition. It's really cute.
Yay.
Cute.
It's adorable.
Sorry, I'm replying to a comment. Okay. Let's see. What's this bitch up to? Taehyung!
Yeah.
Go.
So Taehyung came to Instagram today and dropped us a whole playlist. Reve is his photo book is still for sale. BT Dubs pre-order, and I believe it is restocked in both stores. I have not looked today, so if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it was the last time I checked yesterday. And,
I'm checking.
Thank you. So in the meantime, while we're checking on that, he dropped a whole playlist today. So as Patricia mentioned earlier, he was also listening to Mac Miller, and he gave us a song rec. A different song though, "Funny Papers" is the one that he linked, or he recommended. He recommended "The Dress" by Dijon, "I Want" by MKG, "Crybaby" by SZA, "Mama" by Kim Pilsion. I said it French, but it's not French, it's Korean. I'm just talking about this.
Listen, you're not the only one with pronunciation issues. I am the worst up in here.
It's not even like your native language, but when you study a language for a long time and you look at something and you know that it should be said differently, that's what happened. Anyway, so Kim Pilson, now I said it American, and "Someone" by Rosé. Those are all the songs that he posted recs to. So his playlist grows as well. Did anybody see about Reve?
It is still available.
Look at that.
Okay, cool. So you can still go in there and you can pre-order Reve, and your destruction should arrive somewhere in the beginning of March. I had said erroneously that I thought it was going to be a nice little book of photographs that Taehyung had taken in Paris.
Listen,
Lovely
you were
scene,
just
because he said it was seen through his eyes. It was a fool's wish, my friend. It was a fool's wish. I should have known it was just another book of him.
You cannot be faulted. You cannot be faulted for your attempts to protect your own sanity.
Yeah, that's true.
The wording, come on. The wording was seen through his eyes. Instead, it's him in front beautiful scenery in front of beautiful scenery. I mean, you're putting art literally in front of architecture. Beautiful, so we can't really be mad. I mean, we can. I'm mad. Taehyung, I'm tired.
Taehyung,
I'm poor. I'm begging you. No more.
Taehyung, how many pictures could you possibly have taken after this? This better be it. You better be full out, my guy.
Tempt this man, Christina.
For fuck's sake. I'm literally begging. I am mentally unwell.
We'll just get photos of him all over the military when he gets out. We'll be like a camouflage box of selfies from the military.
Listen, guys, there's so much shaggy blonde in the posters, and that is my Roman Empire. Taehyung, I can't.
It's like layover era Taehyung. So he was like last year's photo book was I had black hair, and so this one is different. You guys want the blonde, right? Sure. It's really cool. We love it. Also, just stop. I'm not well. None of us are well. I am hanging on by a thread. So if you could just, I don't know, maybe like text your soulmate and tell him to release something, that'd be great.
Yeah, Katie's gonna drive on
she wants.
I'll take a Jimin photo.
Katie is begging you, Jimin, do something, please.
Please.
Yeah.
For the love.
Say Quince. Somebody say Quince.
Like all y'all talking. Meanwhile,
someone's gonna take this the wrong way. I love the whole album. I'm honestly begging for something else to talk about in my section.
So that was Taehyung. I'm sure he'll be back with some more bullshit next week. Jungkook. He did some shit on I don't know, what did he do on Instagram? Didn't he like unfollow some people? Well, no, I know Namjoon did it too.
No, Namjoon unfollowed everyone and then followed them again.
Not in fan chant order.
Not in fan chant order.
Not in fan chant order.
Twitter made a thing about it, but Jungkook did do it like a week ago too, where he unfollowed some people.
Because he admires Namjoon. It has to do with
Jungkook was playing with his phone.
Yeah, just playing with his phone.
I mean, that's a theory that tracks.
Anyway, so also Dreamers. We've talked about Dreamers a couple times right now. It seems to be moving and shaking right now. By JK rises to number 16. It is up 20 spots on this week's YouTube Music Global Top Songs chart with almost 21 million streams.
Ooh, Cookie.
Pretty cool for a song. Get it, Jungkook. Yeah. And that was he's been quiet too. So that was all we have for Jungkook right now.
Yeah. I can do OT7 real quick if you want.
Go for it.
Cool. All right. Blood, Sweat, and Tears official music video is only 7.5 million plays away from reaching 1 billion on YouTube, people. Go to the Blood, Sweat, and Tears official music video. You know you want to. And watch Jimin. Come on. You know you want to. Give it some streams. Let's get it to 1 billion.
Come off.
The shoulder.
Exactly. Do a little shoulder pop. Yeah.
Shoulder
and then did you know that Dynamite ties as the 7th most liked video overall in the history of YouTube? Let me say that again. Dynamite ties as the 7th most liked video overall in the history of YouTube. The official music video for Dynamite has crossed 38 million likes. So that is awesome.
I'm going to put that number 7, huh?
Yeah.
Feels right. It feels meant to be.
Feels right.
Feels like the way.
It does. It does. So watch those. That's fun. Yeah. Cool.
Oh yes. I'm sorry. I did forget to mention that Taehyung completed his cold weather training for special forces. Yes. He did. So congratulations, Taehyung. I'm sure it's It sounds like it's a very difficult course. So we hope he did well and that he's resting now.
Congrats
Good
to the
deal.
winners.
Good deal.
Yes, we do.
You know,
Okay, so for
Resting.
the
All
main
right.
topic tonight, we thought we would just kind of go off of the hot topic, which is TikTok. And rather than just beating a dead horse about TikTok, because who knows what the hell is going to happen in 90 days. But we thought we would also talk about, I feel like our guys paved the way when it came to the use of social media to grow a fandom. I think from day one, getting up there, doing their vlogs, doing all that stuff, and to present. So I just thought we would talk a little bit about their influence and how they use social media. And then if we want to, we can kind of go into how we use social media and how do our plans change and all the ebb and flow of a changing technological world.
And we would like to preface this with, we are not saying that BTS was the first group to have a social media.
No.
Saying the way they used it was very groundbreaking and revolutionary.
Yep.
Yes. So don't come for us.
Don't come telling us that other
I mean, you
people
will anyway, but
first,
Yeah.
because that is not what
What
we
are this hags
saying.
talking about? I know.
these guys don't even
And
know
now
what
they're
social
saying they
media
invented
is.
the internet. What?
yeah.
What
Now-
do old women know about the internet?
I still love
Yeah,
some
right.
of the people. I still love that some of the people defending us on Twitter X legitimately thought that we didn't know what Twitter X was. They
I'm
were like,
still
I
mad
know.
about that.
"They probably don't even know what
I
Twitter
had
fan wars are. Okay, leave
I had
these
an
grandmas
account.
alone."
You know what? I probably had an account on Twitter X when they were in elementary school. So
I built
shut up.
Twitter X.
Listen, the people who keep calling tech and acting like we don't know
Right.
social media keep forgetting that our generation literally invented and built social media. Like, we're the origin
Exactly.
of social media. We've been there since
Yeah.
you had to have
Since the beginning.
.edu addresses to get on that one place that's no longer a great place. Like, we've been there from the beginnings of the dawn of social media.
When you just collected America Online CDs, like
I was
trading
going to
cards.
say, yep, we've got to use the CD.
They were our
Who was the
Pokemon.
guy on MySpace?
So-
I was friends with him.
Tom.
Was it Tom?
Tom,
Tom.
Tom,
MySpace.
Yes.
Tom
We
was
were all
everybody's
friends with
friend.
Tom.
Tom was
So
my friend.
basically, what we're saying is, don't cite
We've been
the
around
deep
these
magic
internet
to us.
streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were there when it was
Listen,
written.
Listen, on MySpace, we had to actually write our own HTML codes to change our pages.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
Yeah.
Is
Yes.
everybody plain background
Yes.
there by itself? No.
There were so many relationships destroyed by
Everyone
that top
learned how to
8.
code.
You'll never even know.
Everyone learned how to code and write HTML back in the day because
we
if you
did.
wanted to have a website about anything, you had to write your own HTML.
You had to
Exactly.
build that thing from scratch.
Now they
I
do
know
it
I
for
didn't have
you.
one.
Some
We
of
had
us
to walk
actually.
uphill. We had to walk uphill on the internet. Okay, we had to walk uphill
Both
to
ways.
install
Some-
on the
some of-
internet both ways with no shoes on.
Some of us actually made a living writing HTML code.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I mean,
It's funny because it's like I never use my Facebook anymore, but I won't get rid of it because I had a fucking .edu address. I was in that bitch from 2003. From the moment that bitch was allowed outside of Harvard, I was on Facebook.
Yes.
So will I get rid of my account? No,
I had to
fuck,
wait.
I won't. Do I use it? Rarely.
No. I think we should all go back to Live Journal. Remember those days, those halcyon days? Live Journal, maybe a little Tumblr.
I was gonna say, Twitter is LiveJournal. It's just very small. It's a very tiny LiveJournal.
Yeah.
Just compressed.
But you know,
It does still,
To bring it
still
to-
exist.
right, but to bring it back to BTS, you know, what they did do though, and if you go back to Quince's blog when they first started getting on social media during debut time, 2013, you can see a lot of those early lives and also, you know, go through the screenshots of when they were on Twitter and just starting with their digital footprint. And what I think was very interesting about them is they were like, they had a certain innocence to them about it. Like, we're just going to open up the account and say whatever we're thinking at the time. they didn't really, it wasn't like, let's wait for something really cool. It was like Yoongi would get on and go, is this how this works? Literally would type out, is this how this works? And then tweet it out to the world. And so I always found that very endearing about their early social media footprint, was they were just sort of figuring it out. And that's really where a lot of Twitter X, for all its, foibles, was really where they started off. And that's where a lot of the translator accounts also started off as well, because they would tweet obviously in Hangul, and the global fandom wanted to know what they were saying. So I think if you go back to those really early times, it was just, that's the word I wanted to use, endearing, because they were just like trying to figure it out. And they didn't have any other groups, as far as I know of, that were heavily using social media at the time in the K-pop sphere. So correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know that for sure, but I feel like they were amongst the first to use social media in that way, where the members would actually get on the account and communicate directly.
I think K-pop is a very controlled, messaged form of music, and it's and so I think others were using it, but it was what the company put out, what the marketing team put out, that kind of thing. I think they were the first ones who got out there, were like, hey, it's me, let me show you my cool, what was that thing called, the MK thing, like his little beatbox thing.
And they also had like their own particular Korean platforms that are social media. They had like Fan Cafe, and they were on like so
But and again, a lot of it was a small company thing. They, like their peers who were at larger companies, like their social media presence was much more controlled. Like the company basically did it for them. With BTS, it was like, Big Hit was like, well, we can't really promote you, but we know that you guys are crazy and funny and they think you're cute. So get online. Go, and
go
talk
do
to them.
Things.
Here's the password.
Go do things.
And post stuff.
They're standing in a line. They're standing in a line, and they write the password down, and they hand it to them each individually, and they tuck the password in their pocket, and they go along.
Oh, I bet that was the way that it worked. But I mean, it's like, and then they started making all their when they were making their vlogs, the video logs. I mean, like, it came to the point that the company had to create something that was like theirs. So like that is what the origin of like VLive and the origin of Weavers and all of that comes from like them playing with other social media, like even very local Korean social media. And then just kind of like saying, okay, well, this might be a business. So let's create a platform for ourselves,
Yeah. And I found it very interesting how like early on the company was like, okay, so the usual way that it's done is there is like a BTS social media account. But like if you guys are just gonna fuck around on here, let's give you a separate member account. So that way people know this is the official company stuff and this is you guys fucking around. So that way your stuff doesn't overflow necessarily onto the official business side of things. Right. And I thought that was utterly brilliant on the part of the company, because it really did give them more freedom, because what they were doing on the member account didn't necessarily reflect as much on what the official stuff was going on. It was their little side thing where they were like, hey, it's Jin, what's up, what's going on, how are you doing, and
they very much did that whole like we're just gonna be ourselves on here. Okay, cool, we're all cool with that. We're just gonna say whatever the fuck is in our brain, and we're gonna post weird pictures of each other because we think it's funny. And everyone's like, more please, please, we're good. So and I mean, I think that I definitely think that when we were starting this project, and I hope that other people take this to heart as well, if they are interested in being on social media, having any kind of presence on social media. Like when we were starting, I know that like some of us enjoy social media more than others, but all of us enjoy it enough where we get something out of it when we do it. And none of us are like super shy, but we definitely took the whole like, okay, we're just going to be ourselves, because there's no point in not being authentic, which is why like when some of us don't feel like posting on social media, we don't post on social media, because to force it would be worse. And you guys would be able to tell that we were forcing it and didn't want to be there, versus when we come on because we actually want to. Again, that's kind of our privilege in having 6 people, so that it doesn't fall on just one person all the time. But it's also a good rule of thumb for anybody wanting to have a presence in social media, is that like, find something that works for you and lets you be authentic, like BTS was, because it's going to work better for you. That's how ARMY grew. That's how our community has grown, is because we're just out here being ourselves. Haegeum.
Yep.
Totally.
With the crazy hair.
No, it's true. I think the thing I struggle with the most, though, is consistency. And that's where I think Stefne is amazing with her TikTok videos, is she just, I mean, that consistency is one of the most important things to feel connected. And that's, I struggle with that. So I can certainly see too, though, how in the beginning too, speaking for BTS, like if you don't have anybody to guide you either, like the way I can look at Stephanie's TikTok posting schedule and the things that she talks about, and I go, oh, okay, yeah, I could kind of see how that would work for me if I tweaked it up a little bit. But the fact that BTS was just out there just like seeing what it would do, and being authentic, like Quince said, is the easiest thing to do, but also the hardest, because it means that when somebody hits at you, and anonymous strangers will hit at you on the internet in 2025. There's still people who think that it's fun to bully anonymously other people. I mean, it stings. And so I wonder sometimes too, if BTS, they were so young when they made that decision to be just their authentic selves, and they knew it was going to come back in some ways to bite them. And yeah, I wasn't around Twitter X when they were there in 2013, but I'm sure they got their share of comments.
Well, I think too, when they started it, and they're talking about, look, we have, 99 people or whatever, did they ever imagine a day where they'd have 20 million? I mean, who could have ever?
They were out there promising Hobi's abs for a certain number of
yes,
followers.
They did.
On
lies, though. It was all lies.
All lies. I mean, yes. Yeah, Hobi was like, yeah, if we get to 10,000 on the V app, followers on the V app, I'll definitely show you guys my abs. They get to 10,000, and he's like, okay, so listen, guys.
Never mind.
I didn't realize
I did
you guys
not
were going to actually do it. I am not prepared. And then this bitch got real cute and put on a shirt that had abs on the shirt.
Yeah, because he kept changing when he was going to show abs. Like the number got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then that
legend, we're still
getting
waiting.
hit. We still have not received our fucking Jungkook abs for 3 million followers.
The app doesn't even exist anymore.
On V-Live.
Pray for a loose shirt at the concert. Pray for a loose shirt at the concert.
I will like to point out that Yoongi did have to wash an item of clothing on Jimin's abs. That did happen. That actually got posted to the internet. Look it up.
There are probably some things they really wish they hadn't put on the internet.
Yeah, but it's there.
We're so against edited or fake things being in spaces pretending to be real. There's so much real good stuff to choose from.
I know. There's so much real weird stuff to laugh
nonsense.
Over.
Their digital footprint is so ridiculously insane and asinine. Like, why would you have to make stuff up? Like, just dig deep into the bowels of BTS underscore TWT.
Didn't we mention this in a couple of lives ago? Like Yoongi posting a picture from his grandmother's house saying, "I slept really well because the bed is just."
Because he was like, fine.
A precious moment.
Here, you want to hear about Yoongi's day? Here.
Well, I think that also, the authenticity of it does help because, I post every day, but it's literally I might wake up with a thought and you just get on there. I'm not, you're not setting up cameras and doing the thing and making sure you look great. You're not putting on the show. And that's what I loved about them. They didn't do that either. They just showed up how they were. And when you show up as you were, even if you're not saying anything that's really necessarily, profound or anything, people can relate to you because they're like, you're not trying to be something that you aren't. They were not ever trying to be something that they weren't. They were just being honestly who they were. And how do you not fall in love with a little JK who's falling asleep on Jin's shoulder during a vlog? I mean, like, how do you not fall in love with that? So, and then even now, JK falling asleep on lives,
been doing it from the start.
We're his safe space. So I just think, when
underwear.
I look at what they've done with social media, and not only what they've done, but then like somebody had mentioned, one of you were just talking about, you were talking about the translators, Christina, was it? Or one of you were talking about, so it started this whole thing with translators on social media. Think of how them stepping out in social media brought about other people's full social media. We wouldn't exist.
Right.
With what we do with it, if not for TikTok, because that's how we all met.
We talk all the time about how initially we were like, do we have to go on live?
Yeah.
What if just Stef interviews people?
Yeah. We've been talking a lot of shit about TikTok, but we have to give it its dues, its props, because that's how we met.
That's how we met.
Yeah. And there was a lot of like, what do you mean I need 800 followers plus to go have my face on the live? I guess it won't happen. And then everybody's like, bitch, it will happen. What you're going to do is start posting some stuff so it happens because we need your face on the live. And then it was like, all of a sudden we're stepping out of our comfort zone because we have to reach that certain follower mark to have our faces on the live. Because Steph was like, no, I don't want to do this alone. I don't want to be the only one talking to people. And we were like, but you're doing great, sweetie. You're doing so good at this.
And now we're in YouTube, so we don't need any followers.
It's definitely weird to get used to talking to nobody, but you're, social media.
So there's some people that are better
have asked. Some people have asked in the comments if we're still going to be on TikTok, and I did answer. I was like, our accounts are there. Like literally, TikTok was dark in the US for 12 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't long.
We don't know what's going to happen, but as long as it's there, we'll use it as much as we can.
Right.
We'll keep using it.
We haven't talked about lives, but I mean, you'll definitely still see us here on Wednesdays, and it may be that we stay here for Sundays too. We don't know yet.
We made this decision because at the time it was down, and if we were moving, we wanted to make sure we communicated ahead of time. Here's where we're going to be. We didn't know if it was going to come back. You know what I mean? And I'm not sure the latest, but as of at least this afternoon, people who are on TikTok said that they could scroll and watch videos, but they couldn't go live yet. So we will.
So it's still limited.
And communicating.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the beautiful things about the team is we all kind of have our own area, quote unquote, of social media that we do well. Like some of you are really great in Discord and keeping up with everybody and chatting in there. And, then you have Christina, who's great with X. And then you have, you know what I mean? Like everybody kind of has their space. So none of us have to be all things to all people. You go to things where you go to the thing that you're most comfortable with. And that has worked for us. I think it will continue to work for us. TikTok will probably always be my number one as long as it's around, just because I feel like music topics do better on TikTok than Instagram. Instagram is more visual, more, K-drama stuff does better on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like they're different. They're just different.
Right.
And of course, X is its own beast, which I'm scared of. So I'm glad Christina has that.
You know what I find interesting though, and I think this is relevant in the ARMY space, specifically in BTS ARMY space, is I'll see comments on Twitter X where people will say, well, Instagram ARMYs do this and TikTok ARMYs do this, but Twitter ARMYs do this. And I'm like, I don't know of anybody who is completely homogeneous in their social media life. I feel like I know many more people that dabble in more than one social media app. I mean, I know I alone, I'm on, Twitter a little bit more just because it's faster for me. The way that I can consume it is a lot faster than TikTok. But like I have every single social media app that I visit. And so that whole discourse of people only being on one single one, I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just saying I find that an interesting,
I mean, it's a generalization. It's a generalization.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I mean, there might be a platform that you're more active on. But
right.
Use the other ones.
But the cross-pollination between the apps is insane. Like all the time on Twitter, I see IG posts and TikToks posted to Twitter.
They go back and forth.
So it goes back and forth. I mean, it's all intertwined in there. And so in terms of being in the Army space, my favorite place is actually Discord, and that's because it's more of a hub for all the information everywhere. So I don't have to go to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That stuff gets brought to me in the hub of Discord. And so it's just, I'm just interested because it's interesting to me for people to identify themselves as I am a TikTok army. And I'm like, I don't really feel that way. I kind of feel like I'm everywhere all at once. And maybe that's because of the project, but
I think we did it first. We used to be more scared. We used to be more scared of like Twitter. And so, we were really and we were just kind of getting started on other social medias, and like TikTok was definitely our thing at the beginning. And so we were felt the safest there, but we never have been out there going like, well, we're like this and you're like but so
and I think too, like, obviously I don't think any of us had to create a social media account on any of these social medias. Specifically wanted to separate our personal accounts, but we all had accounts on every last one of these social medias, and some of us just repurposed our existing account and made new ones. So we were all there, and I think that concept of like Twitter Army does this and TikTok Army does this and Instagram Army does this and Facebook Army does this kind of goes back to what Stefne said earlier. Certain types of videos do better on this app versus that app versus this app. So like if you just have this kind of approach of like, because these are the particular videos that particular algorithm likes and pushes bigger, and so that ends up being kind of more what you see on that, is where that kind of concept comes that, TikTok Army only does this and Instagram Army only does this. And like Stefne has pointed out, like with her differences, she posts the same exact videos on TikTok that she posts on Instagram, the same video on both platforms every single time she posts. Yet this one blows up on this app and this one blows up on this app. And it's never the same video that blows up on both apps. And so you get this idea that this particular platform Army behaved this way, whereas that's just how the algorithm works on that platform. It pushes
right. It's a good point. It's just the nuances of that particular app. It's a good point.
And also like the audience is different. Like the people that you have on TikTok it's not the same people that is on Twitter, and the things that they're looking for is not the same thing either.
Right. But I'm always super impressed and also very appreciative of the Army fandom going to where they need to go to get their BTS breadcrumbs. You know what I mean? Like there's people that are like, I hate, this, but BTS posts on there, so I'm gonna go there because I want to get that. So I think armies have always been good at that. Wherever we need to go to get our info.
I did see a comment too that I wanted to, because a couple of people have asked, like, we don't plan on going to any of those new apps that people have been talking about, like to replace TikTok. Like what was the one?
The Red
Note. There was Lemonade.
Red Note. Not the lemonade, like
lemonade. Yeah,
the lemonade we talked about several times anyway. They were owned by the same company as TikTok, so they weren't working at the same time. So that would have been pointless anyway. But we're not planning on joining any other like top like sites like that for the time being. So don't worry about that. I think where we are is where we are, and if we have to do something different in the long term, we'll figure that out as we get to it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's interesting.
We're just going to do it like BTS did, figure it out along the way.
Yes, because that's the way we do stuff.
Look, the first time we tried to go live on YouTube, it was horrible.
It's recorded.
And a lot of people started watching us, which was even funnier.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we were like a shit show, like, live. It was
we do our best failing for an audience, don't we?
Although one of our earliest YouTube lives was the Anpon Squirrel, so that was a win. Except the chat didn't get saved. Like, they didn't archive the chat on that one. So like, I don't know, YouTube was doing stuff. But that was one of the greater lives we did on YouTube.
Look at us now.
Early days.
Look at us.
I know. Look at us winning now. You know,
we're not breaking anything. Look at that.
It's like old hat now. We're just like, we're going live on YouTube.
You can teach an old hag new tricks.
In fact, it's an old hag new tricks.
So before we close down for the night, because people have to use potties and stuff, I do want to just take a moment for all of you out there watching. We're all thinking of each other for Wednesday. We're all in this together. Good luck to us all.
Cross everything. Become a
we will only be mortal enemies between 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Wednesday. And after that, we will be best friends once again.
No, we're cool. We're cool.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a short period of time.
It's a very short little period of time.
It probably won't even last that long. It probably won't even last that long.
No, it's going to be like
it's going to be like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an hour per
it's
video.
It's going to be as long as the time zones last. So at most in the US, like 4 hours.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are watching that maybe don't know, if you're not part of our Discord and you're trying to get tickets to Hobi, just know that we have threads in our Discord where you can go meet based on which concert location. So San Antonio, Chicago, New York, whatever. You can go hop in that Discord and meet other people that are trying to go to the same, make plans. Where are you staying? I'm going here. All that fun stuff. Because one of our main goals here, other than content, is connection and keeping people connected. And that's one of the ways we're doing it for the concert. So may the odds be ever in our favor.
Indeed.
Yes. We're getting tickets. I'm manifesting. We are.
Go out there and get our Hobi.
Get our Hobi on.
Right.
Yep. And be on the lookout for the concert t-shirt, which we'll have up soon.
Yes.
Which J-Hope himself might see.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Stop psyching her out. He's not going to see it. He's not. Patricia, stop.
I need.
He's not going to see it. He's not going to see it.
Calm down, my daughter. Calm down.
He's going to stop.
Down,
It's not going to happen.
Okay,
Down,
but
my daughter.
he might wear it in front of Yoongi.
This is amazing.
Waving
We
Haegeum
got this.
at yourself is not going to help.
I know.
We're meeting Wednesday night, right? Do we decide?
Yeah, because it's going to be over.
It's going to be over
Wednesday night.
Live.
We'll have a live, and we'll know the result
melee
of the
will be
Hunger
long
Games
over.
and who's still alive.
We'll all stumble in, like looking real haggard.
Yep.
And we'll tell our war stories.
Yes, we will.
Yes.
Good times. Good times.
Right here on YouTube. So be here.
Yep.
8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday night.
Yay.
All right, we got to go.
Okay, love you guys. Have a good night.
Love you all. What a hey.
Bye, everybody. What a hey. Thanks for coming. We love you.